Oh, yeah, man. We got to talk about it. We got to talk about GBUSH. He made his presence on the Big Snack Show, the GBUSH Network, the interview after the interview. And in this interview with Big Snacks, GBUSH dropped some gems. He dropped some nuggets. He dropped what went on behind the scenes. And it seems like his interview with Coach Prime has everybody in an uproar. And what he did with that interview was expose a lot of lies that the Cleveland media and these insiders have been saying the whole time. And it was exposed. And then he went on in depth on the Big Snack Show and dropped some more gems and added more to it. You are now tuned into a brand new episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. For today, man, we got to talk about the interview after the interview that appeared today live on the Big Snack Show, the GBUSH Network with GBUSH. We're going to talk about it right after this.
Let me put you on game. These other podcasts out here talking that shit, but ain't repping the same. It's my bro K-Sap, chopping up topics for your optics. From politics to your cockpits. Tune in, you gotta watch this. Exclusive material for your radio, stereo, pumping high definition. Stop what you doing and listen. We smashing all competition. You better jump on this wave. Somebody pass me a mic, man, I got something to say.
Well, guys, you know I got something to say, man. Shout out to Big Snacks over there at the GBUSH Network for getting another exclusive with GBUSH from the barbershop on the interview that he had with Coach Prime, Deion Sanders. And you know that interview that GBUSH had, it set the internet on fire, man. It got the people to talking. It got the YouTube streets to talking. We seen what happened over the weekend on the YouTube streets over this interview. There was a lot going on. But in this interview that Jared Bush had with Coach Prime, you know what it did? It opened up a lot of eyes and it unclogged a lot of ears. And now you have the national media talking about it. And everything that they talked about in that interview was very interesting. But what the national media is doing now, they're only picking out one segment of that whole hour and 30-minute sit down on the barbershop with Garrett Bush. And they picked out one segment to talk about and try to spin a narrative to make Coach Prime look bad. And that is the Todd Monken situation. And guys, I'm here to tell you, listening to the national media this morning, I was listening to Mike Florio of NFL and NBC with Chris Sims, and they talked about the interview that's supposed to be coming up with Todd Monken and Deion Sanders. And I want y'all to listen to what they said about the whole situation. And this is the only thing that they could get out of that whole sit down that Garrett Bush had with Coach Prime. Take a listen to how they trying to spin a new narrative because GBUSH's interview exposed all the old narratives. Take a listen.
Earlier about Deion Sanders saying he would like to meet with Todd Monken. Here is Deion himself on his objective of having that meeting and why he wants to do it.
Things about grown, how to get him going. That wasn't asked of me a year ago. I don't understand it. Like even a guy like Travis Hunter being drafted to Jacksonville, and I've had him for the last 3. Don't you think you would want to talk to me to let me know, to ask me what gets him going and what backs him off and what, like, you would want to know that. So I anticipate and I can't wait to have that conversation with Coach Monken.
And he said he wants to have the conversation not as a father, but as a coach, basically a resource to talk to Todd Monken about what it will take to get the most out of Shedeur Sanders. But there's still a clear bias there.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
He wants Shedeur to win the competition. He wants to tell Todd Monken
the media tries
what
to
he
spin
needs
these
to do.
narratives.
And basically, and look, again, we love Dion, and I'm never going to not speak the truth in order to avoid making anyone uncomfortable or unhappy. It looks like Dion wants to try to work his magic on Todd Monken and explain to Todd Monken why it's in everyone's best interest for Shedeur to be the quarterback. And if you do X, Y, and Z, it'll work. And if it doesn't happen, it's because you failed, not because Shedeur failed.
Yeah.
That's the danger. And that's why I think Dion needs to take a look in the mirror and ask himself, am I capable of separating father from coach? Is this something that I would say about any of my former players, or am I being influenced by the fact that this is my son? I couldn't fix it for him when he slid to round 5. This is my way to fix it now. I'll help him get a fair shot at being the week 1 starting quarterback. He'll win the competition with Deshaun Watson, and everything will work out. I think that's a clear, obvious bias that any of us as parents would have. I think he needs to be honest with himself and maybe not try to have that conversation.
And now you heard what Mike Florio and Chris Sims said. The problem I have is they so fixated on that part of the interview. All the other good stuff we got out of the interview, y'all didn't want to touch on that. Then he goes on to say, would Deion Sanders have this conversation if it wasn't his own son or his own child? Didn't Deion just say when he opened it up, didn't he just say about Travis Hunter in Jacksonville? So make it make sense. He said, why come they didn't reach out to me to talk about Travis Hunter? I didn't have him for the last 3 years. Ain't that a former player and not his birth son? So come on, guys. Y'all can't pick and choose. And see, the problem I have is this is what they're so fixated on. This is how the national media tries to spin it and make Deion look like a bad person. But you heard first today on the interview, after the interview, because in that live session, there was over 700 people in there watching the live. And y'all heard all the gems that GBUSH was dropping down. And he was giving it to you real if you just paid attention. So all the lies that the media has out there, that interview with Coach Prime, Garrett Bush exposed all that. Garrett Bush is at the top of the pinnacle in this Cleveland media, and they have to deal with it. Deion Sanders could have went to any other platform, but he chose to go to the barbershop with Garrett Bush and sit down and give him an exclusive to put out all the flames, to put out all the narratives. And that's exactly what he did. But what happens is the media is going to spin it any way they want. So shout out to Garrett Bush. Shout out to Big Snacks, the GBUSH Network, for doing their big one today and adding to what people already know about Garrett Bush. He is about the people, he's about the community, and he's about uplifting small content creators such as myself, Big Snacks, Auntie Faye, Money Man, Mad Dog TV, Life and Sports, and many more. And like he said on the show today with Big Snacks, we stick together. We the community. We the new Cleveland. He exposed all the lies. He exposed all the narratives. And all you got to do is go look at the interview after the interview and you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. I see everybody in the comments section, #salute. If you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, turn your post notifications on so you know every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger. Oh yeah, just in case I forgot. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. And this is going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. We'll catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.